I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. At a House Judiciary Committee hearing on Thursday, proceedings came to a grinding halt when Republicans accused Representative David Cicilline of impugning their integrity. The Rhode Island Democrat inserted several documents into the record to counter claims Republicans have made about a controversial school board memo. Cicilline ended his request by saying he hopes Republicans, quote, read these documents and stop making a false claim. Republicans immediately objected and demanded his words be taken down. Representative Louis Gohmert said, quote, you've gotten so used to making statements that are outside the rules of decorum that you don't even recognize when you do.
What
Madam Chair?
purpose does Mr. Cicilline seek recognition?
I have several unanimous consent requests. My first unanimous consent request is the ranking member made reference to a Department of Justice whistleblower memo and grossly mischaracterized its content. So I'd ask unanimous consent that I be permitted to read the memo into the record.
So ordered.
You object to? You object to reading into the record the memo that was, okay.
Not if you do it on your time.
Then I ask unanimous consent that the document that the Republicans were afraid to have be read aloud be introduced into the record.
Without objection.
I have unanimous consent request that a document, a PolitiFact head with a heading, no, the federal government isn't using the Patriot Act to treat parents like domestic terrorists, be introduced into the record.
Madam Chair, point of order. Unanimous consent is limited to describing the document.
Which I am doing right now. Madam
No one
Chair,
is objecting
I have the
to
floor.
document.
And the document,
Hold on, guys. Okay.
I'm
Gentlemen
asking
can
unanimous
describe it.
consent that the document
Headline.
entitled, no, the federal government isn't using the Patriot Act to treat parents like domestic terrorists be made a part of the record.
Without objection.
I have unanimous consent request that a document entitled McCarthy's false claims that Garland called parents terrorists be made a part of the record.
So ordered. Without objection.
Document entitled Attorney General never called concerned parents domestic terrorists be made a part of the record.
Without objection.
And finally, a fact check that reads, Kevin McCarthy keeps repeating false claim that Attorney General called parents terrorists for wanting to attend school board meetings be made part of the record.
Without objection.
And I have unanimous consent request that my Republican colleagues read these documents and stop making a false claim.
Good luck with that.
The gentleman has just impugned our integrity. I would demand that his words be taken down. He is not allowed under the rules to impugn false statements by this side. And as far as PolitiFact and some of those, they couldn't find the truth with both ends.
That's a separate allegation.
You know, but I would like the gentlelady's words to be taken down.
Yeah, well, I'd ask his words to be taken down. He
No, your words to be
violate the
taken
rules
down,
like
Madam Chair.
that.
Committee will suspend. I'm sorry, were they intending to read it?
Yes, in response to Mr. Cicilline's comments, the gentlelady said, good luck with that. I think that impugns the Republican side. I think that is actually totally inappropriate. And if we're gonna start letting people out of order, just throw in documents. Man, I've got about 20 sitting right here.
I'll withdraw the comment.
Thank you.
And now we'd like to recognize Ms. Jackson-Lee.
Well, we've got to have a ruling on my request that the gentleman's words be taken down. Where he said we made false statements.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Mr. Raskin.
As I understand the gentleman's point, he said that the gentleman from Rhode Island had impugned his false statements, and perhaps the gentleman from Rhode Island would just say he does not impugn his false statements.
I don't think Mr. Gohmert made any statements. I think the report were reporting to this committee the headlines of 5 documents that said those claims are false. Those are what the documents say. I'm not going to change the words of the documents. And I'm not impugning them. I'm simply putting into the record those documents that in fact refute the claim.
The gentleman said that the ranking member grossly mischaracterized the statements, and
It's not a breach of decorum. I think it is an
Yes,
accurate
it is.
statement.
well, it's
In my
not an
opinion, he
accurate
grossly
statement.
mischaracterized the contents of the DOJ memo. That's absolutely
It
appropriate.
impugns intention.
No, it does not impugn. It doesn't say anything about his intention.
You've gotten so used to making statements that are outside the rules of decorum that you don't even recognize when you do. You can't just constantly malign people on this side of the aisle.
Madam Chair, are you prepared to rule?
Madam Chair. Madam Chair.
Can the gentleman from Rhode Island rephrase to make clear that this is a difference of opinion with respect to?
Well, Madam Chair.
I certainly, to the extent that they thought my words were impugning them, they were responding to statements made and a rejection of those statements in written documents, not impugning any declarant in this hearing.
Madam Chair.
But I don't think that our rules require me to accept assertions without challenging them. That's exactly what a committee process is about. And I am not going to limit my right to challenge claims that are made appropriately, which I believe I did.
That is outside the bounds for any member to just take over time and start impugning other people making
I don't
false
think there was
statements.
anybody impugning
mischaracterized.
anybody. I think we were challenging the
Unanimous
claims that were made.
consent
I'd ask that the chair make a ruling.
allows
I'm not gonna-
a request for unanimous consent. It doesn't allow you to start mischaracterizing what you allege are mischaracterizations.
Yes, Mr. Jordan.
Well, let's just get to the facts. The facts are the White House coordinated with the School Board Association.
Oh, we're going to have an argument about the facts.
There's
I
a
welcome that,
request
Mr. Jordan.
On the
No,
floor.
he stated something that's just not accurate. I got the letter right here.
Mr.
It talks
Jordan,
about
you're
the-
not
Oh, no, I want to impugn.
All right. Fine. Are we ready? Yes. Okay.
That's fine.
As soon as they rule on this, I will.
That's the ruling of the chair. It's not a breach.
He's not going to do it, sir.
He's not going to do that.
In the opinion of the chair, the words did not impugn the members on the other side.
Madam Chair, we going to repeal it, really?
Appeal the ruling.
Motion to
Motion
table.
Motion table.
Right. Okay, we'll get the clerk. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Nadler,
And just so everyone's clear after the exchanges, this is a vote on the motion to table.